We are back here on WICR and on live365.com and on Ustream. I want to thank everyone for tuning in, whichever way you are. Be sure to check out WICR Iona College Facebook, as long as the WICR Gales radio link on YouTube. But this is the BS Report with John Stanko and Kevin Bartnett. We've wrapped up our conversation on the Super Bowl, and now it's time to delve a little bit into the offseason, because it is never too early to talk about next season and the prospects for what may come for the 2014-2015 year. First, I think we got to talk about the biggest free agents that are going to be out on the market. Some big names out there that are looking to make some big money.
I got the list right here, my friend.
All right, lay it on me. What are a couple free agents you think that are going to make some big money, make some big moves?
Well, I think Jimmy Graham. It says here's a free agent, but he's not leaving New Orleans.
No,
he's even if they can't come to an agreement on long term, they will franchise tag him. And the Saints will not back down on the franchise tag, because they even did it with Drew Brees.
Yes.
So they won't back down on it. There's a lot of good ones on here. Greg Hardy from the Carolina Panthers is a really good defensive end.
I think they're going to try and keep him, because that team is built for success now, and I think they know they need him to continue it.
But they gave big money to Charles Johnson. That could be in the way, and then they're going to have to pay Luke Kuechly eventually.
I love Luke.
They are going to have to pay him. So.
Yeah. That's another big one.
A lot of good defenders on here when you see.
Some good safeties. Jarris Byrd of Buffalo.
Yeah, he's going to get a big contract.
He was probably the best defensive player on that Buffalo team.
T.J. Ward of the Cleveland Browns.
Ward of Cleveland Browns, exactly. So my point.
The Cleveland Browns, surprisingly, have a lot of talent on that team. It's 6 Pro Bowlers. If you haven't realized it, actually. They have 2 offensive linemen. Alex Mack's a free agent. That's center on the market. I want my New York Giants to get him badly.
Oh, really?
I think the Giants don't spend a lot of money traditionally, but I think this year they make a splash or two.
Do they re-sign Justin Tuck?
I think they. I mean, Tuck just said 1 week he says he wants to retire a Giant, then he says he can't wait to test free agency. So the thing is, he's very loyal to the Giants. He's played with them his whole career, so he is very loyal to them. I think that once you leave, coincidentally, it seems like once you leave the Giants, you're not good after. It's weird. Everybody they cut, they're just not good after.
That's like assistant coaches with the Patriots. Once you leave, you're just not a good head coach anywhere else you go.
No, but like once, it's kind of like a trend. It really is. Like, you notice that Steve Smith decided to sign with the Eagles. Coincidentally, Malcolm Smith, by the way, is Steve Smith's brother. That's Steve Smith's brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know
they're
that.
brothers, USC connection. I was like,
hey, there you go.
I heard they were brothers. So
there you go.
But no, like Steve Smith left the Giants, then he had a disastrous year with the Eagles. When the Giants said, "Hey, wait out 6 weeks and you can play," he's like, "No, I want to play right away." Took the money in Philadelphia. Now he's retired and not playing anymore.
Now Jeremy Maclin's leaving Philadelphia. Do you think he's going to land anywhere?
I don't think that I really don't think that he is going to get big money, because he's very injury prone.
Yes.
I thought he was actually a better wide receiver than Deshaun Jackson when they both first started coming up. I thought he was a better pure wide receiver, but now you can see Deshaun Jackson is just totally legit.
Oh yes.
And I don't know. I don't see him going to be. He's coming off ACL surgery. I think the wide receiver who's honestly the wide receiver that I would go after if I was a contender would either be Decker or Bolden. If I was a contender, I think Bolden stays in San Francisco though.
I think Bolden likes it in San Francisco, because whatever team he goes to, the quarterback loves him because he goes up and snags every ball you throw in his direction. Now the thing is he going to want more than a 1 or 2 year deal?
He's 33 years old.
He is 33 years old, but you also got to think he's been performing despite getting older.
He's a tough guy.
So,
he's never been fast. He's just been tough.
I think he's going to want more than 2 years, and it's going to be whether San Francisco gives that to him.
He's 33 years old. I don't think he'll get 2 years. I think he just wants a shot to win again, maybe.
Do you?
I think he stays in San Francisco. He and Kaepernick were good together. Once a guy like Crabtree came back. Golden Tate, I think, stays in Seattle for another receiver market. The big question is Hakeem Nicks, though. I can tell you he's not going to be back with the Giants.
No, he's ranked #1 in terms of free agent wide receivers, according to Bleacher Report.
Really?
Yes.
Over Decker and all
Over
them.
Decker. They rank him, Decker, then Denario Alexander, and then Golden Tate, Jeremy Maclin, top 5, according to Bleacher Report, free agent wide receivers.
I think if you put Hakeem Nicks, I mean, Carolina's been a rumored destination for because he's from the area. He's from Charlotte, so it's his hometown team you can call. But if I were the New England Patriots, I would take a long and hard look at Hakeem Nicks.
You're right, because you're going to get him for cheap, too, because he hasn't performed.
You won't get him for cheap because it's 3 years.
You'll get him for cheaper than maybe an Eric Decker, who put up good numbers this year, because Hakeem Nicks did not.
They kind of went role reverse. Hakeem Nicks, when he first broke into the league, first 3 years was a top 10 receiver, honestly, when he broke in. But then he's had injuries. He was healthy this year, though, but He missed a lot of meetings apparently, which if you know, it's a sin in Tom Coughlin's world. Tom Coughlin finds you if you're 5 minutes early to a
Also,
meeting.
it's a sin for the Patriots if you miss meetings.
Yeah. So Coughlin and Belichick come the same breed, Parcells. So I think Hakeem Nicks. I would take a long and hard look at him because I think he could do wonders with Tom Brady. He can't play for the Giants.
He's a deep threat. We need one.
He can't play for the Giants anymore, especially with them bringing in Ben McAdoo.
Mm-hmm.
I think that from what I heard, McAdoo already doesn't want Hakeem Nicks. He's a guy who's going to work a couple slot receivers in, which you already have in Cruz and Jarrell Jernigan. So I do not see him coming back, honestly. Develop Ruben Randall. Try and get him on the same age.
Ruben Randall had a really good year this year.
He's good, yeah. But
I do think he could be developed on.
He was also at fault for a lot of Eli Manning's interceptions, though, because he ran so many bad routes.
Again, he's young though. Give him time.
You saw it was totally his fault on a lot of.
There were a lot of miscommunications that were on his end. Yes, I do understand that.
So if I were, but like another team that could use a receiver. I mean, teams that could use Detroit Lions could use a guy opposite Calvin Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just throwing teams out there that maybe that can use a guy like Hakeem Nicks.
Okay.
So, but if I was New England, he comes in. I think he's your number one right away. I mean, he would be Brady's go-to guy. With Gronk hurt, I don't know if Edelman could do what he did again. Amendola is.
Edelman's a free agent. Listen, I think he's the number one priority for the Patriots.
He stays.
To resign.
I think he stays.
But the thing is, he proved himself worthy of money, and it's where the Patriots want to give it to him.
Edelman, Danny Amendola, if I were the Patriots, honestly, I would consider cutting.
I wouldn't cut him, but I'd maybe
have him a short leash.
Yeah,
Keep him on a short leash. One, because he wasn't that good when he did play. If I'm being honest, he really wasn't too good when he did play, and he has a body of glass. So
he does. He does. But he is tough. He's
a tough guy, very tough guy.
But he's just naturally fragile, and it's unfortunate.
So, anyway, other top free agents I'm looking at. Alteron Werner of the Tennessee Titans, a very underrated cornerback, is going to get a big payday. Other guys, Henry Melton is coming off season-ending injury. The defensive tackle for the Chicago Bears, very good player.
Yes,
very good player.
Michael Bennett also. Free agent.
Yeah, I think I got him and Cliff Averill confused. Actually, I think that Averill actually is under contract for Seattle.
Yes.
Bennett was the one. That was the one who I actually meant.
Yep.
That they need to keep, honestly, because if you keep that pass rush between him and Bruce Irvin.
Also, another big one, Brian Arakpo. He's at double-digit sacks for the past 2 years. He's a big dude and he's physical. I think whatever team he goes to, I think he can make an immediate impact.
I think he's a better 4-3 defensive end than a 3-4 outside linebacker.
I agree with you.
I mean, I would be scared if I were him. He's from the Texas area. I would be if as a Giants fan, I could see him leaving the Washington for someone like Dallas. Because Washington, even though Washington did have salary cap penalties, but I could see him leaving and going to a team like Dallas. Honestly,
in 64 games, he's racked up 39.5 sacks.
He's a great player.
He was injured in 2012, so he's had two. I misspoke. He's had 2 double-digit sacks in his first 5 years in his first 5-year career. Again, 39.5 sacks in 64 games. That's production. I think he's a player to look out for in the free agent market.
Other notable names is Aqib Talib is on here. Do you think he resigns in New England?
I am not sure that he does.
I think he should because he's had his best career. He's had his best year and a half under Bill Belichick. I think it should stay that way.
I think they'll try, but I think they're going to need to pick between Edelman and Talib. And listen, the Patriots do not have as much cap room as people think because this whole Aaron Hernandez thing is still happening and they still owe him money. But
they released him, but they still
owe him money, and they're trying to get out of it, but they haven't yet. And if they do, it clears a ton of space. Then they'll be fine. But they do not have as much space as they think because they're still paying him off, even though he's in jail.
Right. That was what everyone thought was a position of strength a year ago. It's probably one of your biggest weaknesses now at tight end.
We need another tight end. It's rumored for the Patriots to draft their first pick, the 29th pick, to be a tight end.
Yeah. Or maybe Austin Seferian-Jenkins from Washington, because I don't expect Eric Ebron to be there.
No, exactly.
Eric Ebron won't be there at number 29. So, other notable name, Noshawn Moreno is a free agent. I would say watch out for the local New York Giants or New York Jets for Noshawn Moreno. Watch out for one of the.
I'd say more the Giants than the Jets.
He's from the area. The Jets, I can see he's from the area. I think he definitely would want to come back though, because he was very emotional when he came back, obviously for the Super Bowl and when he came against the Giants. If I'm the Giants, I would be worried about him because the Giants don't really like spending money. So, and he's had only really one good year. And that was especially, it's not his fault that he's only had really one good year because he's hurt a lot. That's his problem. I wouldn't give him a big payday, but if he has a year like he did with Denver this year, I wouldn't mind giving him some money, but not too much.
We're forgetting a huge name, Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah,
He's going to be a free agent. Jacksonville letting him go. Mark my word, you put him on a good team. The bulldozer that he is, you put him on a team, he will get you yards every time.
I would rather take a chance on someone like Ben Tate than Maurice Jones-Drew, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, Ben Tate's has been very productive since because Arian Foster on Houston's hurt a lot, but they're kind of tied into that contract, with Arian Foster and the Houston Texans. So, I would honestly take a chance and take Jones-Drew's up there in age. He was a workhorse for Jacksonville so many years. I don't know if he's got a lot left in the tank, to be honest. Another free agent, I'm shocked that he's so low on this list. Jared Allen, the defensive end from the Minnesota Vikings.
He's a free. I didn't know he was a free agent.
He's ranked number 38 on this list right here.
No.
Jared Allen?
I mean, granted, I don't think he's put up the numbers he has in the past couple years, but I mean, he still makes an impact. Like whenever you put him in the game, people are gonna know where he is.
Exactly. You're gonna have to prepare for him because of his name alone.
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe Jared Allen can have a reunion with the Kansas City Chiefs, the team that originally drafted him.
I mean, you don't want that defense being any better than it was.
Yeah.
At one point.
Well, I mean, they were terrible in the second half of the year.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
No, they were.
They had a good pass rush. That was the one good thing about them was they had a great pass rush with Justin Houston, with Justin Houston and Tamba Hali.
Yes, you're right.
They have a lot of talent on that defense. It just didn't seem to click towards the end of the year.
Also, struggling for Oakland, Rashad Jennings and Darren McFadden are both free agents.
I would keep Jennings if I was Oakland.
I would too.
Darren McFadden's a better player, I think, but Jennings did his job. McFadden has been hurt every single year he's been in the league.
Exactly.
He's
never played a full 16-game season.
Yeah,
Darren
McFadden. When he does play, he's very good. He's very good when he does play, but I would not take a chance, and I would not give him big money.
Yep. Also, you got to look at Philadelphia has questions to answer. I mentioned Jeremy Maclin, also Riley Cooper as well.
I would. First,
Nick Foles had a connection with Riley Cooper.
Exactly. Well, that's one. And two, I don't think a lot of teams are going to want to take a chance on Riley Cooper because of his comments in the preseason.
Keep your mouth shut. I guarantee that's what his agent is telling right now. Do not say anything to anyone.
I mean, because that comment alone may just cost him. I mean, he had a good year with Nick Foles. Once Nick Foles took over, he had a great year.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think he needs to cut his hair too. I hate that.
You hate the long hair?
I hate that long hair.
Also of note, in the tight end position, before we take another break here, Dustin Keller and Dennis Pitta. Both good quality tight ends. Dustin Keller hurt this year.
Missed the whole season.
But he has been productive in his career. And Dennis Pitta, he won a Super Bowl.
Excellent for the Ravens in their Super Bowl run.
In their Super Bowl run, he's also a very quality tight end. I'm assuming Jimmy Graham stays with New Orleans.
Yes.
I think that's the one lock we can make. Is Jimmy Graham staying with New Orleans, whether it be by contract or franchise?
Jimmy Graham is unbelievable with he's developed as a blocker big time. He was known as a terrible blocker, but he's a mammoth, and they made him work on it. He's just a naturally good pass catcher. So, I think Greg Hardy, they have in this list here, the top 5 is Graham, Greg Hardy, T.J. Ward, Jarris Byrd, and Brian Orakpo as top 5 free agents.
I think Brian Orakpo should be in the top 3. I think he can make an immediate impact wherever he goes.
I mean, you have some guys who aren't too well known that are very high, like Jason Worlitz, the outside linebacker for Pittsburgh Steelers, rated number 11 on this list I'm reading. Michael Johnson, the defensive end in Cincinnati Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Other guys like Jared Veldheer, offensive tackle for Oakland. Not many guys are too well known in the league.
Mm-hmm.
They're very high on this list and look like they're going to command a lot of money. Eugene Monroe, do you think he stays in Baltimore?
I think so.
I could see it. Definitely.
I think so.
I think they need a left tackle. Michael Oher is definitely better on the right side.
I think Baltimore right now after the season, I think they need as much consistency as they can get into next year.
I don't blame them. I mean, they look smart for getting rid of guys like Ed Reed and.
Oh, they do. No, they do. But I think that having not made the playoffs this year, it's going to focus them and be like, all right, we need to build up from there what we have. Let's keep what we have and then add on to it. So I think they're going to try and.
The one mistake they made is they had to try and keep Kruger or Ellaby. And they lost them both. I think they wanted to keep Ellerby, but Miami offered more money. Kruger had already signed with Cleveland. They wanted to offer more money, but Miami offered more money than Ellerby, and he chose Miami. So
also other names we need Altron Werner, excuse me.
I mentioned him.
You mentioned him, and then also Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie.
I think he stays in Denver.
I think he stays in Denver.
He was terrible in Philadelphia, so the fact that Denver even took a chance on him.
And he played well for Denver.
Played very well for Denver, so he was good when he was in Arizona. So. There's a lot of good names out here on this list. Brandon Spikes for New England.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone. So I don't think there's any shot.
This is a good free agent class, though. I'm excited to see what happens.
Do you think, before we take a break and before we delve into the NFL draft a little bit, do you think there'll be any trades in the offseason? Do you see any rumors coming true that teams making big blockbusters?
I haven't really heard of too many guys possibly being traded, honestly. I really haven't heard of too many rumors, so I can't really say, honestly. I don't know.
Yeah, the only one I knew of was Larry Fitzgerald, the Patriots. I heard
he just took a discount,
exactly, but he just took a discount today on his contract to make it easier for the team.
And Arizona, it's not like Arizona's a bad team. They were a good team this year, 10-6 this year. So
yeah, I mean, they're very, very good. ESPN, I think, put them in the top 5 teams contending for a Super Bowl next year.
And the NFC West, even was probably the worst division. Was the worst division in football 3 years ago.
Oh, it's the best division in football.
Now it's probably going to be the best division.
They had arguably the 2 best teams in the NFL.
St. Louis and San Francisco. San Francisco and Seattle.
Yeah.
And watch out for St. Louis. I've watched them a couple
times. They are improving.
Their defensive line just Robert Quinn. Wow. I like that pick when they took him, but I was like, that's very under the radar. Watch out. He may be the best pass rusher.
And Jeff Fisher is a proven head coach.
Yes. Also, and Zach Stacy had a fantastic rookie season when he took over.
And also, Tavon Austin didn't do much this year. Imagine when he's actually a part of the offense.
And when they get Sam Bradford back.
Exactly.
I mean, they need some safety help, but James Laurinaitis is a very good linebacker, very good leader for that defense. They did hire Greg Williams. That's a little bit of a controversial hire.
Yeah, at defensive coordinator.
Greg Williams, who was the main guy in the Bounty Gate scandal for New Orleans. So I'm shocked he was even allowed back in the NFL, to be honest. But
he'll be under close.
But the St. Louis Rams, watch out for it because they have 2 picks in the top 13.
They do.
So they're going to be vastly improved.
All right, but you mentioned the NFL draft. We shall bring it to you after this short commercial break. Kevin Bartnett will give his in-depth analysis as to who we think should go number 1, and is Blake Bortles for real? Stay tuned to find out.
Yes.
By myself.